Hey guys, this is Desto. I am from North Carolina and I am on Industry's Most Wanted.
Shit, you still complaining. All these hoes gon' fuck up your rap. I ain't the type to hold your hand, so keep BP, don't drag that shit. All these hoes walk around loosely, been in the mud, stuck under pressure. Diamond is forming, go get the shovels. Life getting real, I know it's on. These hoes at your friends. There's only
Hey, what's going on, man? It is your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live. Where are we at, Desto?
Industry's Most Wanted.
You heard what she said. It's the big one, not the little one.
Okay, let's go.
Y'all clock that. What's going on, beautiful? How you doing today?
I am doing great. I am blessed to be here.
Shout out to Desto Baby in the building.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I am so blessed to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Listen, it's a pleasure. Today was a ladies' day, and I'm here for it. You know, like, there's a lot of fellas that come through, no shade, but I love when the ladies come through with that girl energy, you know?
Absolutely.
Definitely. Before we dive in, because I got a lot of things I want to talk to you about, give us a brief introduction of what you want people to know initially about Desto.
Desto is a survivor. Yes, Desto is a survivor. Desto is somebody who will just persevere through it all.
Yes.
No matter what it is, I'm going to stand in my truth.
Listen, I'm here for that, and I feel like it's something that needs to be talked about, so that's something we're definitely going to dive in and talk about, you know, through your journey here on Industry's Most Wanted. You grew up in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yes.
Definitely. Your surroundings there, first and foremost, North Carolina is beautiful. Let's say that it's beautiful.
Yes.
Would you say that your surroundings growing up there influenced you to want to start doing music?
Honestly, yes. So my dad actually grew up being a DJ back in the day.
Okay, super dope.
So he always had stories about him being a DJ. My brother was a big music snob, but also music paid a path for me when it came to my trauma. When it came to me like having to be alone in isolation.
Yeah.
All I had was music. So I think that's just where it started.
Music is truly like that therapy that we need. It's
Absolutely.
An outlet. And I feel like it's whether you're creating it, listening to it, or even somewhere in between. We all need an outlet, especially women who have been through certain situations, you know, toxic situations, you know, tragic situations. You need a release. You can't hold it in. Right. And music has become that for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you now live in the Atlanta area, in Lithonia to be exact. Yeah. What brought you out here?
I came from New Orleans.
Okay.
I was in New Orleans. I left North Carolina in 2019. It was more so of a running from trauma type of thing, and I landed myself there. Yeah. And that's where I actually found myself and started doing more for me. And I realized that New Orleans was a temporary situation. And so I was like, what am I going to do? Am I going to go back to North Carolina, or am I going to go to Georgia and try to figure this out? And I came here. I thought I had a job placement. It fell through. And so that is when like stuff really started to hit the fan. Yeah. And I was homeless for a little while. Wow. And from there, it was just like, okay, we got to get back in our bag.
I'm so proud of you. Yeah, I'm about to get emotional. Like, no. I'm about to get emotional. I'm so serious because, like, I can't even imagine what you went through and endured during that time. Like, you know, from being in bad situations, maybe relationship, and then enduring homelessness. Like, girl, you should be so proud of yourself because look at you now.
I am.
You're like a walking testimony.
Don't get me started.
Like...
Yes, I am.
Wow. Like your story, I feel like absolutely needs to be told. Yeah. It needs to be told. Have you thought about writing a book or anything like that?
So you want to know something? I actually have thought about writing a book, but it takes time. Like, it actually takes a lot of time and patience. And me, I'm the type of person, I write all the time, but I have multiple books of just different areas of my life I'm writing and just talking to God and just trying to figure it out. And it's crazy because last year I told myself, I was like, I'm going to be on a podcast. I'm going to do an interview.
I know that's right.
And when Gambino was like, hey, boo-boo, I was like, God, you know, you're really doing it for me. And it was like a couple months ago, I I was at a Vigilite for Women Against Domestic Violence in downtown Decatur, and I was just telling them, like, you know, we got to be able to stand up for ourselves and speak in our truth, and speak in our truth for those who can't and those who no longer are here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We got to show people, no matter what we're going through, we can still chase our purpose and do what God wants us to do, what he allows us to do. And that's what I'm doing. And
it needs to be talked about, because I feel like oftentimes stuff gets swept under the rug.
Yeah.
And there are people out here who don't, and I can't speak for no man because I'm not a man, but for us ladies, we go through and endure a lot when it comes to relationships, you know, abusive relationships, even if it's just verbal abuse. But when you add that physical inside there, well,
that's a different story.
It's a whole different story.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that it'll never go away. We can heal from it physically, but I feel like mentally it never goes away.
No, you just lock it away in a little door back there.
Exactly.
That's it.
That is it, because otherwise we can't keep going.
Exactly.
What mentally was able to pull you up out of a domestic violence situation, and you said you had a period of time where you were homeless, like how did you muster up that strength to pull yourself up out of those situations?
I had my daughter. Honestly,
yeah.
Like, we can sit here and say, you know, we can always say it's for our kids.
Yeah.
You know, we stay in these situations for our kids. We got a 2-parent house, so I'm doing it for my kids. But at some point, we got to do it for our kids to get out of the situation.
Yes.
Because my child is not going to see me in jail, and she's not going to see me in a casket because of the hands of another man.
Yeah.
And so I had to understand with myself, and shout out to WRC, which is the Women's Resource Center Against Domestic Violence. They were a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is it. This is no more. Like, you got to do something, because if not, you're going to continue the same cycle, the same exact cycle, and you're going to keep asking why. But it's just like, you got to look in the mirror and ask yourself why in the mirror, and then take a seat.
Because, ladies, you are worthy. You do not belong in them situations. Always. Because it will end up in one or two situations. You're either going to end up in prison because you're going to kill the man. You know, like, because we could only take so much before we break.
What?
Or they're going to end up taking your life. It's rare that people make it out of them situations and it ends well, unless you walk away. So let me ask you this. Any young ladies out there right now who are caught up in the midst of an abusive relationship and they feel like they can't get out and there's no way out, what would you say to them?
Baby, set a plan. Write it down. You're gonna have to go cry about it. Like, I could sit here and tell you all of that, because it's like God puts me in those type of situations to show people the example of what can happen, but you gotta be able to listen.
Yeah.
I can sit here and tell you to write a plan out, and then when you go to work, don't go back. Or I can sit here and tell you, go find that shelter to go in, but you gotta have the strength to stay in that shelter. You gotta tuck that pride and do what you gotta do, because I can give you the resources. You gotta want to take the resources and do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Because it's help out there.
Yeah.
It's so much help out there, but you gotta want to help yourself.
For someone who doesn't know where to start looking for help, where do they start looking? Is it you Google it? Like, where do they start looking for these resources?
I would say Google.
Yeah.
It's really just Google.
Yeah.
Because that's where it started for me. It was Google.
Utilize the resources that you already have, which is this thing right here.
Yeah, because it's not so easy just going to tell somebody your problems, because they're going to be like, I didn't know that, or that's not the type of, he don't seem like that kind of person. So you can't really go telling people what's going on, because they really might not have your back for real.
That is facts. What I have found, because I was in an abusive relationship, and then prior to that I was sexually assaulted, and I don't talk about it often because sometimes people don't believe you. They feel like you're just crying out for attention. And it sucks that it's that way, because either the men don't want to own up to that there's men out here like this.
Oh, yeah.
Or sadly, there's women who have used that to try to get attention. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, ladies, this is a real thing that happens to women. Don't ever use that to try to, because you're mad at your man.
Like, it's really sick. Like,
it is
in
sick.
all honesty, it's sick.
Yes.
Because why would you... I get it. I've been there. Like, don't get me wrong. I feel like every woman has been in a situation to where you're trying to do something to keep that man.
Yeah.
We've all been there, regardless of what it is.
Sure.
But you got to understand the line that you're crossing when you're bringing in children, or you bringing in SA, or you bringing in DV, because you're potentially messing up somebody's life.
Yes.
You're potentially putting somebody's life in harm's way. Like, we gotta be accountable. And I'm real big about accountability. If you don't have accountability, you can't hang out with me, regardless.
Girl,
you can't.
I'm so with you on that. And it's sad because sometimes it be the people that be close to you.
Really?
That
it really is.
And it's like, we have to leave them where they are unapologetically. Mm-hmm. Because if they don't have accountability for themselves, to me, it's like there's something not right up there.
Yeah.
If they're a narcissist because they feel like they're always right.
Yeah.
I can't be around someone like that, let alone be in a relationship with someone like that.
Exactly. And that's kind of where my new song come into play. Like, a new version of me, like that. It's time to shed it off. It's time to let the walls down, because we can't. At one point, I was idolizing, wanting a man to come in and help me, even though I've been through everything. Yeah. And so I had to understand, like, no man is going to give me what I can give myself. And that's where I come up with this song, like, finding my sound, finding who I am, loving who I am, standing in my truth, standing in my power. Like, I want to be an example for the next person. I'm not going to be an example for everybody. Yeah. I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but everybody that can understand where I'm coming from, that can feel my journey, that can understand my path, they're going to be able to relate to new version of me. You're going to be able to relate to the story I'm trying to tell.
Absolutely. We have to save ourselves. Yeah. Nobody else is coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. So the new version of you. Yeah. What does the new version of you look like, feel like, compared to who you were before?
Peace. Peace.
I love it.
I struggled with peace for a long time. And I'm really I'm on a journey of solitude, of isolation. Like, I really sit by myself every day if it's not work. If it's not music, I'm really by myself trying to figure out what's my next steps, where am I going, and I'm thankful for that. I'm happy. I'm going out and about. I'm networking, because I'm real, like, antisocial. Yeah. So I'm just trying to learn how to put myself out there and take that leap of faith.
Girl, you just described me to a T. I feel like we're like the same person. I call myself a social introvert. I'm very introverted. I love being alone. When I was younger, I didn't, though. I love being outside. I love being around people. But I feel like when you start experiencing all these different types of energies, and it teaches you to love being by yourself, because it gives you your peace.
Tell me about it.
But then there's some people who don't understand that. They're like, oh, why you're not social? Why don't you come out? Why? Listen, I like being at home. That's my peace of mind right there.
Or you acting funny.
Exactly.
Like, no, I'm not acting funny. I came for my money and now I'm going home. Like, that's it.
In and out.
Yeah.
Handle my business and get the hell off.
That's it. Do you hear me? There's no complaints. I mean, who's it hurting that I'm not there? Okay.
Right. Exactly. You know, because really at the end of the day, none of these people go to bed thinking about us. They don't care.
Hello.
They don't care. So, you know, mind your business.
Okay.
So I'm loving this new version of you. It takes a really strong person, especially us as women, because we're very emotional, we're very nurturing. Absolutely. To pull yourself, not only pull yourself out of that situation, but stay out of it too. Because there's a lot of times people will pull themselves out, but then they go back.
Yeah, I had like a savior complex. Like, I thought I could save everybody, because I grew, like, no shade, no tea, mom and dad, if y'all ever see this, but I personally, in my opinion, felt like my mom and dad didn't give me what I needed.
Understood.
Because I'm adopted.
Oh, okay.
So just imagine being adopted and finding out you are adopted, and then just looking at how things are. I just feel like they didn't give me what I needed. And so growing up, I tried to seek love, but it was also me just being a placeholder and a savior complex to men so they can heal and get themselves together. And so I had to understand that nobody can save you but God.
Yes.
So I had to save myself and understand, like, what you pouring out, pour into you so it can overflow.
Absolutely. And everything that you feel like that you didn't get in your years growing up, you're pouring into your baby girl now.
Absolutely. And it's honestly, we got it, like, it's kind of hard too, you know, because we only do what we were taught.
Right.
And so when you're trying to break cycles from being taught certain things that are unhealthy, it's hard.
Yes.
And gentle parenting, it's not the best parenting, but it is teaching me to be soft with my daughter.
Yeah.
It's teaching me to be understanding and listening to her and her emotions and how she feels. So I'm very much grateful for how they raised me. I just wish that, you know, it was a little different.
Understood. No, it makes perfect sense. And I feel like we as parents have to give our kids a little bit of grace. Like, I have a son and I raised him by myself, but I always taught him, I'm like, okay, you don't want to be soft.
Yeah.
But you also are okay if you need to show your emotions. It doesn't make you less of a man if you have a day where you need to cry a little bit.
Exactly,
like,
no.
It don't make you soft. It don't, like, listen, you ain't got to be hard all the time.
Exactly.
You know?
No, you don't. You don't. Like, if you can't show me the soft you, something is wrong.
Agreed.
Something is wrong. Like, what are you hiding?
Exactly.
You must haven't went through your trauma or something. You're hiding something. If you can't for 1 second just be soft. Like, my dad used to be like, I don't cry. And my dad never cried until my grandmother passed away. But my dad was also battling a lot of things that he couldn't talk about because he was the only child.
Yeah.
And how he grew up. And so it's just like, I'm a firm believer. You have to be soft. Like, you just have to be. Like, you have to be. That's the only way you're going to be able to keep moving, because you can't be hard all the time.
Absolutely.
Like, you cannot.
And you know what I'm loving too? A lot of young men that come and sit down with me, I have multiple of them telling me they either were or currently in therapy, and I love that for them.
That is a blessing.
Yes, and it's like, I feel like young men, especially young black men, let's just put it out there.
It's tea for y'all, for real.
Yes, it is okay. It is okay to seek therapy. Absolutely. To talk to someone, even if you don't necessarily want to go to a professional. Find somebody, whether it's your pastor or an uncle or somebody that you feel like you can confide in, that's not going to listen to respond. They're going to listen to just hear you out.
That's it. And I am so big on listening to understand rather than listening to respond. But a lot of men also feel like they're going to be very much judged, because if I come and tell you what actually has happened to me, because I am a male, because I am masculine, you're going to think I'm being sensitive. You're going to think, oh, what is wrong with you? Or why would you let that happen to you? What do you mean? Why would I let that happen to me? Like, we don't let things happen to us, especially as children. Correct. Or especially as teenagers. So I applaud any male, African American, man of color that is in therapy, because you're actually getting the help you need, so you don't taint anybody else that crosses your path. Absolutely.
I agree. And to me, the only person that has a problem is the ones who feel like it's a problem for a man to express himself. If I'm over here judging this man because he's expressing himself, I'm the one with the problem.
Yeah, you need to look in the mirror. It's you're reflecting. You're reflecting real bad.
That's where that accountability comes in.
Yeah, definitely.
Like my business partner says, stop pointing the finger and start pointing the thumb.
Okay.
Take that accountability.
I like that.
Yeah, I use it all the time, because people are quick to point the finger at other people, but they don't want to point the thumb and say, I'm the problem.
Yeah.
If there's constantly stuff, riff-raff going on in your life, you might be the problem.
Absolutely.
If you always falling out with people, it might be you.
Absolutely. And I'm a firm believer in believing, like, hey, if you encounter the same situation, the same problem in different situations, you might be the problem.
It's a you problem.
It definitely is. It definitely is. It definitely is. And that's just like, come on now, we gotta be able to grow up. We got to be able to
facts.
grow up for real.
That is facts. Absolutely. So I heard you mention with a new version of me, a lot of it was finding your sound.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. You know, how would you describe the process of, for you, finding your sound?
So when you're telling a story, there are a lot of layers to story. There is anger, there is happiness, there is sadness, and then there is just mellow.
Yes.
And so I had to go through all, like, I have a whole bunch of songs, but I felt like with this flow and where I'm going, I really just got to keep it mellow, you know, because I want everybody to relate to what I'm saying, because it is a story. Like, I feel like music is going in a whole different direction nowadays.
Agreed.
And I want to be able to bring it back to storytelling. I want to bring it back to something that people can actually sit down and relate to, you know? And my dad was very big on that. Like, he was very big on the 70s and the 80s. Yeah. And so I feel like through their music, they told a story at the end of the day. And that's what I want to do.
I love that. So do you find it easy to navigate through where the industry is now? Because like you said, a lot of people are just throwing stuff out there just to throw it out there. And it's no shade, but it's factual. There's there's
no shade at all.
There's not a lot of substance in some of the music coming out. But then we've got artists like yourself who are putting substance in your music, your storytelling. Is it easy or fairly difficult or somewhere in between to navigate?
It's difficult.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants to hear the truth.
That's facts, because they're not holding themselves accountable.
No, and then nobody wants to really, like, nobody really cares about a female story for real.
Right.
Like, they don't really care unless it's like a girl's girl or a guy who really like understands music. They don't really care about that. And so it is a little more difficult. And then I'm a female doing it, because the females before me have paid a whole different direction for music.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not going to be easy, but I've never been a person to back out of anything, ever.
Would you say that the music that you create is a little bit of something for everybody? Because a lot of men, fellas, support these ladies. Okay, support these ladies with their music. A lot of them aren't going to ride around listening to a female artist. They're just not. You know, they want to listen to a dude that's being all hard in their music. But do you feel like when you create your music, you kind of keep everybody in mind?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have a lot of fellas.
Okay, that's dope.
A lot of fellas, and I'm the type of person. I love constructive criticism.
Yes.
You can never tell me anything about my art that's going to really hurt my feelings, or unless I know it's really coming from a hateful place. A lot of guys like my music and they tell me keep going.
Listen,
a lot of females do too, but it's something else when you're a female and you have a guy tell you like keep going. Like we see it in you. So yeah.
Let me ask you this, and I'm speaking from my personal experience. I, as a female, get more negative lash from men than I do women.
Yeah.
And I find it kind of weird. And I don't know, I have a very big, strong personality. I'm the type of person, I speak my mind, but I don't do it to hurt anyone's feelings. I'm just a very matter-of-fact person, right? Do you find that when you do get a little bit of, people coming at you, is it more men or more women?
It is definitely more men.
What's up with that?
It's definitely more men. A lot of men can't handle a lot of straightforward women.
No, I agree.
And I think it has something to do with the balance of masculinity and femininity.
Yes.
Because you got to understand, when I went through my trauma, I was very masculine, trying to get over it.
Yeah.
And now I'm also learning who I am, so that feminine side is coming out of me. But at the same time, I have to present somewhat of a masculine personality for my music.
Yeah.
Because you got to be able to understand where I'm coming from and where I came from. And a lot of guys don't understand that. Oh, why are you doing that? Or why are you dressed like that? Or why you have to... It doesn't matter. Like, do you get the message? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's what matters, But I just feel like any guy that has anything to say about a woman telling her story or trying to live her truth, you need to go talk to your mama.
That's facts. I agree.
Honestly, because why do you feel the need to attack a woman?
Yes.
Go talk to your mom.
Listen, I couldn't agree more. And if there's any men out there who doesn't have a good relationship with their mother and it can be fixed, fix it.
Please, because then you're not going to know how to treat your daughter, or you're not going to know how to treat your girlfriend or your wife. So the woman that raised you, if you do not have a good relationship with her, please go have a conversation. And if you cannot have a conversation with them, please go get in therapy, because nobody deserves that backlash. Nobody deserves to be treated unfairly because you don't know how to treat a woman or talk to a woman. And God forbid if you do have a daughter. Ooh.
And that's the other thing, especially if they have a daughter, because you're supposed to be the example for how a woman is supposed to be treated.
Exactly.
Man, that is deep. That is definitely, that is deep. So releasing music and shooting content, things like that have been some big milestones for you,
yes.
you know, and congratulations.
So
yes, as you should be.
Thank you.
How do you stay motivated and consistent with doing both, releasing new music, releasing new content?
I hold myself accountable.
Yes.
And that's just where it comes from. But my daughter, and they always go back to her because she loves my music. She's like, Mommy, play your song, or Mommy, do this. And it motivates me because since a youngin', before her, I said I'm going to be successful because of music.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've given up. Sometimes I've let it go. I've stopped for a couple years. But I always go back to, I have to do this because I have a daughter, and because I have told myself, I made a pact with myself that I was going to do something with my music. And that's really the motivation in itself, keeping that promise to myself that I was going to continue on.
Absolutely. And that's something to be majorly proud of, because we as humans, we do stuff and then we fall off, and then we start again and we fall off. But to stay consistent with something like that, that's something to be proud of right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just look at it as a blessing. Like, it's not much you can really say when you're really living blessings.
Yeah.
When you really live in things that you prayed for, and you take the time back to like look around, like, I really did this. God, thank you. And that's really what I think, that's the season that I'm in right now.
Listen, that's a beautiful season to be in.
Yeah.
So with the season that you're in right now in your life, how would you define success for yourself right now?
Comfort. Just be in comfort, because if you're not comfort in the success that you have right now, you will not be comfortable in the success that is going to be coming to you, because you're going to keep trying to dig for more and more. Like, take a time and be comfortable in what you having right now and being grateful. So when the bigger blessing come, you can actually see that it's bigger than what you're actually in, and you can be comforted and thankful.
That was the perfect answer. That was the epitome of a perfect answer. You have to be have that comfort in where you're at.
Absolutely.
We got to give ourselves grace. We're human beings.
Yeah, but it's so hard to give yourself grace sometimes.
It is. We're like, so we be feeling like we're not doing enough, or we need to do more, or we got to do something different.
Yeah.
Like, be okay with the process and the journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with you, like, documenting your journey through your music and visuals and things like that, do you feel like it's enabled you to connect with your audience a little bit more deeply?
So yes, and with the few little followers I do have, I am so thankful for you guys. Yeah, it definitely does, because when I do these open mics and, you know, I exchange Instagram and stuff like that, people will reach out to me and be like, I like your music, like, I like your style. And it's more so the style. And they're like, I like your style, I like what you're talking about. And when they say that, it makes my head go haywire, because sometimes as an artist, we second guess ourselves, you know, especially in the beginning. So when people just confirm what I'm second guessing, that right there is like chef's kiss. Like, okay, I'm gonna keep doing this.
I know that's right. I know that's right, because I feel like sometimes we'll get caught up in what everyone else thinks or says versus what we know. We know who we are. We know our worth.
Yeah.
And no matter what we're doing in life, good, bad, or somewhere in between, somebody's gonna have something negative to say.
Yeah.
We gotta just kind of push that to the side and focus on the people who are really loving on you and supporting you.
Absolutely. And just to let you guys know, it's never family. It's never family. It's going to be the strangers.
It's going to be the strangers.
It's going to be the strangers, because, and the reason why I only say that is because my family know I love music.
Yes.
And I've always wanted to do something with music, but they never supported it because it wasn't it doesn't have a 401k attached to it, or it doesn't have benefits attached to it. And it was just a love or a passion of mine. So we got to understand, like, the people closest to us is really not going to support us unless they really die hard for us. It's going to be people on the outside that's going to support you and back you up on what you want to do. So yeah,
I agree, because when I moved here, a lot of the people who were some of my day ones, I don't even talk to them anymore, because they didn't see my vision of why I was moving here. Like, you have a good job here and your family's here, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's all cool, but what about me?
Exactly. What's going to really make me happy at the end of the day?
100%. And that's what we have to do. We have to follow our dreams, our passions, in order, I feel like, to be successful with what it is that we want to do.
Absolutely. We got to be able to thrive, especially as mothers. In order for our children to thrive, we have to thrive. If I'm not thriving, my child is not going to thrive. And in order for me to thrive, I have to do what's going to make me happy at the end of the day.
100%, because we want our kids always to do better than us.
Absolutely.
So we got to set them up for that.
Absolutely.
And that means we're thriving within what we love to do. 100%. Yes. So you also have a medical services business.
Yeah.
Can you share, like, the mission behind it and what it is that you do?
Yes. So I just started that.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And it came to me when I was laying in bed.
Okay.
And the weirdest idea, so I'm praying that God actually put this through for me. So with everything that's going on with the current administration, with healthcare, my medical services aims for low-income family. It aims for women to bridge the gap with women in domestic violence and medical and healthcare, because a lot of women, low-key, people don't know, when we go through certain things, we were well off before that situation happened with whatever certification, whatever license we had. Yeah. That license, some license are lifetime, and some license you can, update in 4 years or so. Right. So the women who are in shelters or who are going through domestic violence, I want my medical services to be able to bridge the gap. If you need a job, okay, I can give you that. Maybe a couple hours here, you can go help this person go get groceries or take their medicine or take them to the pharmacy, or if somebody, elderly grandmother, doesn't have certain medical supplies and I have that on hand, I can go ahead and deliver them on hand so they don't have to wait 5 to 7 business days for the mail. Or if the doctor's office can't provide transportation, which majority of them don't, my medical services, with being myself, will be able to take them to the doctor's office. So at the end of the day, it's like I want to be able to bridge that gap. Anywhere I can, I want to be able to bridge that gap.
Listen, you are like a godsend.
Yeah.
Because even if people have insurance, there's still certain things that they're lacking.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe their insurance company doesn't provide transportation to and from the doctor, and maybe they can't drive because they're not well, or they can't see good. They need that.
Yeah.
So what's the name of the company?
So it will actually be DMS, Destiny Medical Services.
That is beautiful. Yeah. When do you anticipate the full launch of the company?
It will probably be 2026.
Okay.
And the only reason I say that is because right now I am searching for funding because everything costs. Yes. And ChatGPT is my best friend.
I know that's right.
So I literally I have a whole plan on my phone, like the business plan, what I would need to go into the bank, what I would need to ask for, the supplies that I actually need to start up. And that is a hefty penny. So right now I have the EIN number, I have my Duns & Brad, I have a hefty business credit score. So I have the basics. Now I just need the paperwork, and the funding, and once I get that, I think I would be able to go ahead and start with the actual soft launch, and I'm be excited.
Absolutely. It's ironic because right next door to us is a clinic that's for women, and they offer free services.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm like, that was just getting my mind. I'm like, maybe somehow, some way, we
gotta talk to them.
That is amazing. I think I'm not sure if they're there today. I think their sign says that they're on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but maybe take their phone number, reach out to them.
And I'm a medical assistant. I actually work at Grady in the ER.
Look at her. Wow. Yeah. Look at you. What do you not do?
I don't know. Like, I do a lot, for real.
I see that. So how do you balance being an entrepreneur, a mother, a music artist? You have a job. Like, sis, how do you balance all that and keep yourself sane?
I pray.
Yeah.
That's it. I pray. And I take my time to myself. I have to take time to myself because, you know, everybody mental isn't okay, you know, and we can sit around and smile all day, and we can sit around pretend all day, and I'm a realist. I'm not going, if I'm not okay, I'm gonna let you know I'm not okay.
Yes.
You know, and sometimes I have to tell myself, because being a mom is really overwhelming. I do not regret being a mother. I will never say that. People out here are crazy when they say stuff like that.
They are.
And so, but it's very overwhelming.
Yes.
And so I literally would tell my daughter, close my door, leave me alone, so I can take the time to myself to breathe.
Yes.
And then once I take that time to myself to breathe, I got to hit it, because it does not stop. It doesn't stop.
Absolutely, because you don't want to take it out on her.
Oh,
like if you got something pent up, because that was something that I had to work on too, because I had my son as a teenager, and girl, I still wanted to be outside.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But
Absolutely.
completely changed my life. And I'm like you, like if I got something to say, I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it offends people, and I have to tell them, don't take it personal. I got a strong personality.
Yeah, for real. And honestly, I wasn't always like that. I was very timid, and because the things you go through, I was very hush. And then in my house, we couldn't speak. We not over talking an adult. So honestly, I didn't get to this point of me until maybe 22. So just maybe 23. So just imagine 23 years of your life, you letting people overwalk you, letting people just talk to you any kind of way. And I had to understand, like, yo, y'all got me for real.
You gotta set boundaries.
I had myself messed up, exactly. And it is so hard to set boundaries, but you have to, because if you allow, people only do what you allow. If you allow these folks to keep playing with you, they're gonna play with you like a toy. I'm not a toy.
That is facts.
Okay.
People will only do what you allow them to do. And when someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Please, not the second, third, or fourth, the first time.
Believe them.
Yes.
And we have to, as women, be okay with allowing people to be who they are.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because that's going to let you know if you need to deal with that person or not. Like if you don't try to force them to be the person you want them to be, and you allow them to be who they are, they gonna show you.
Yeah.
And believe them.
Please believe them. Absolutely believe them.
Believe them, definitely. So you've mentioned standing in your truth. Yeah. How important is that to you right now at this point in your life, in the season of your life, with you being a mother, you being an entrepreneur, you being an artist? How important is it to you to stand in your truth?
It's very important, because my daughter has to see how to be a proper young lady.
Yeah.
And I have to show her how to be a proper young lady. Being an artist, you can't go out here pretending something you're not, because there are FBI agents out here, and I'm talking about regular people that will pull up your whole entire rap sheet and prove to these folks that you call your fans that you are not what you said you are. And there is nobody that I don't know is going to be able to pull a rap sheet on me, okay? So you gotta just be who you are. And if you don't know who you are, please find out who you are, because it's not a better feeling to know that this is me, and I can firmly say, like, this is me. I'm living my truth. I'm telling my truth. And can't nobody take that from me.
Absolutely. They sure can. Absolutely. So how do you use your platform to, like, encourage others, especially women or survivors?
Absolutely. So honestly, on my Instagram and the link in my bio, there are resources for WRC. So I'm not a personal advocate for WRC. I am an individual advocating off my personal own experience that I had with them.
Yeah.
So when anybody needs help, I give them the number to the DV hotline. On my TikTok, there's actually a link of the speech I did. It's about 7 minutes long, but it's the speech I did to let women know that it's okay, because sometimes you might need to hear it from somebody else that you actually been through. That is actually in my TikTok link.
Okay.
Desto. And then in my Instagram, Desto. Like, so my TikTok and my Instagram, they have literally the same name. And so if you go in the link, literally it's right there. Everything is right there.
Have you thought about starting your own podcast?
I actually have thought about it.
You should.
I have.
I really, listen, I'm here to encourage you. I think you should, because there are going to be so many women out here, maybe even some men. You know, there's men who's been through abusive situations as well, that you're going to be able to pull them in just by speaking your truth and speaking your story. Yeah. Create you a YouTube channel, come up with the name of the podcast. Okay. I think you should. I really think, because that could show another side to you. Of course, you know, you are somewhat vulnerable through your music, but I feel like that this is going to give you a whole nother platform to where maybe the people who don't want to tune into the music, maybe they don't like your style of music, and that's okay. Absolutely. But they still want to hear your story. Okay. Do it through your podcast.
That's, you know, God is gonna use anybody he needs to use to get to me. Because I definitely was like, God, I don't know what to say or what's gonna happen, but I'm here for it, and it's a blessing to even allow me to experience. And I actually have thought about a podcast a few times.
You should.
And I was like, God, I want to go on somebody's podcast, and this happened, and now you're telling me that I need to make a podcast. Like, okay.
I feel like you have the absolute perfect story to talk about. Okay. You know, it's not going to just be like, what am I going to talk? You have something to talk about. And you could even bring guests on there, like virtually, because I do virtual interviews as well, and I'd be more than happy to show you how to set all that up. Awesome. Because you might want to bring other people on your platform to tell their story as well. Coming soon.
That would be lovely. Yes, very.
We're manifesting that. Is there anything else in the works that your fans should be getting excited about?
So I actually am going to drop a video to New Version of Me, hopefully around September. And then we're going to be working on I want to say an EP. Okay. So the music video for New Version of Me and the EP, that is what everybody should be looking forward to, hopefully by the end of this year.
Okay. I was going to ask you that next. So sometime in 2025.
Absolutely, yeah, because my birthday's in January, so I like to drop things before the, I guess, big celebration. Yeah. So that would be something to celebrate.
100%.
To be able to drop an EP and to get an actual video out, that is something to celebrate. So yes, please look forward to that.
If you could send one message to your younger self, or anybody that's struggling to find their voice, to stand in their truth, what would that message say?
It's going to all work out. Don't give up.
How emotional does that make you?
You know, very.
Yeah, I can tell. I can see it.
It definitely, from somebody who used to worry about everything, to want to control everything. From being a little girl who just didn't understand why life was the way it was, or why things happened to you the way it did. It's going to work out. And please believe, no matter what you're going through, no matter how hard life may seem, okay, it's just temporary, because you are, just because, okay? Yeah. It's going to work out. And it's like sometimes I get stuck in my thoughts because I have so much to say that I can say so much. And, you know, sometimes people aren't able to just sit down and listen. Just it's going to work out.
Yeah. It's a great piece of advice, because I'm so much of an overthinker.
Me too.
Where I'm in my own head, and I'm very controlling too. And that's something I'm working on. I'm taking the accountability. I try to control every situation. But I sit back and remind myself, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. Like whatever it is I'm going through is just temporary. It's not, by next week, perhaps, I may not even remember it anymore. So why in this moment am I driving myself crazy? Exactly. It's all going to work out.
It's all going to work out. And for the ladies, I always go to Psalms 46:5. I want to say that is it. I hope so. Please, girls, do not kill me. But it is, God is within her. She should not fail. And through everything that I go through, I'm going to always keep that near me, because at the end of the day, all we do have is God. Like, yeah, He's going to get us through. He knew what we were going through. He knew that we were going to go through this, because He knew we chose this path. We have options. But when we choose certain paths, that leads us down a certain path that we shouldn't have gone down. But at the end of the day, God is still going to be there.
Absolutely. And just learning to be the bigger person. Being petty all the time is not the way.
Oh, no.
Like, there are times where I want to be petty as hell, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be the bigger person in this situation because I feel like that's what God wants.
Absolutely.
You know? So y'all need to stop with the pettiness.
I mean, hold on, because God is definitely a petty God too.
There's sometimes I got time today.
Absolutely, but at the end of the day, being the bigger person is always the best option.
Yes,
because that's just it.
I really feel like by us doing that, it puts that other person in check. It's almost like, take us back to the school days. You know, I remember my mom would always say to me, if someone bullies you, you got to act like it don't really bother you, because then they're going to eventually leave you alone because they see it's not getting to you. Mm-mm. It's the same thing. Like, if somebody's doing something that you don't like or they're rubbing you the wrong way, blow it off. Go find something else to do. Yeah. Stop putting your positive, good energy on someone that doesn't even matter and they're irrelevant anyway.
Exactly.
Period.
I agree.
Definitely. So what is Desto Baby's ultimate dream, both in music and in life?
So in music, honestly, I just want a record. Yeah. I want a record and I want a tour. That's it. Because music consumes. And I just want to live out a dream. And I want to move forward. And with life, and it just connects to life, I want to be able to give back. I want to be able to give people the opportunity. Of course, you have to work for things. But if I can give it to you, I'm going to give it to you. Yeah. I'm going to hand it down to you. I'm going to set the path for you. I want to give back to kids who have been adopted, who are in foster care. I want to give back to the community, medically, you know, people who need heart devices. I want to be able to give one of those out every year for free. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to do things like that for kids who are younger and who have a eating disorder or who are just naturally overweight. I want to be able to do things for you to make you feel good, to make you know that you are loved and you are wanted, no matter what you look like and how big you are. I want to be able to make a change. I want to be able to actually do some good in people's lives.
You're doing everything that God called you to do. That's amazing. Yeah. I feel like when God calls us to do stuff, we have to be obedient to that. And you are absolutely doing that.
I hope so.
You should be so proud of yourself, girl.
So. Like, thank you.
I love your story. I love that you persevered through everything.
Thank you.
Because there's some people who they don't, unfortunately, and they're not here to talk about it. Yeah. Man, you are truly living your truth.
Thank you.
Y'all give it up for Desto Baby. Yes.
Thank you.
I love it. Where can people follow you on all your socials?
So for Instagram, it is going to be Desto Baby, DESTO BABY 2 underscores, and on TikTok, it is literally Destiny the MA. So Destiny the regular way, DESTINY THEMA. That is it. And MA stands for medical assistant. Okay. So it's a little bit of everything on TikTok. On Instagram, it's mostly music. But if you want to find the links for the advocacy of domestic violence is in here. For the link of my music, everything is on all my socials.
I love it. Who do you want to give thanks to for loving you and supporting you?
I want to give thanks to my daughter. I want to give thanks to God because God knew I needed her to love me and for me to love myself. So yeah, that's my daughter and God. And because before that, I didn't know what love was. Granted, yes, my parents loved me. Yeah. But I don't think they loved me enough for me to love myself. So yeah. And
yourself, sis. Like, you should be patting yourself on the back and just, you persevered through a lot.
Thank you.
You got to be thankful for yourself for that. That's something to be so proud of. Yes, ma'am.
I'm trying to. That's where to come and give myself grace. But it's just like, you know, I could be better. I could do better. Yeah. But I'm grateful for where I am.
We're all a work in progress.
Absolutely.
We are all a work in progress. I got one last question.
Yes.
Industry.
We are on Industry's Most Wanted.
Absolutely.
Tell everybody what makes you the industry's most wanted.
I'm real. I'm real. You're not gonna find anybody like me when it comes to conversation, when it comes to style, when it comes to artistry, when it comes to just advice. You will never find anybody like me. So when I walk into the room, my aura itself is going to let you know who I am. And when that time comes, I'm definitely going to be the industry's most wanted. Absolutely.
And I can attest to that because when you walked in here, the energy was radiating.
Okay.
I'm loving it. I felt it. I'm big on that. What is your zodiac sign?
I'm an Aquarius.
You're an Aquarius. Okay.
Yes.
Listen, Aquarius have big energy, big personalities. I love it. Yes, ma'am.
I love it.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I really enjoyed myself.
Podcast coming soon, y'all. Y'all heard it here first.
Yes.
We out of here, y'all.
Bye.
I'm torching the race. Don't sacrifice what's left. I'm getting my lip, but the shit gon' hit. When it start looking up, don't jump on this click. The grass is green, so eat that shit. Eating those words just like this ass.